Every chess master was once a beginner. Irving Chernow. When depicting a mastermind, the media will almost always associate them with some game of strategy, most likely chess. Chess is the game of kings. It's considered by almost everyone as the symbol of intellectual competition. Although it became a little bit of cliché in movies, chess remains very beneficial to the mind and soul of the player. The following are skills and lessons you can learn from chess that will aid you in becoming more of a mastermind. The first thing that chess does is improve your problem-solving skills. Chess requires players to think critically and strategically to find the best move in any given situation. You learn how to get yourself out of trouble when you are down a piece, or how to checkmate your opponent in 2 moves. The more puzzles you do and tactics you solve, the better you get at it. If you want to improve, do puzzles. Life essentially is like a treadmill. If you're not moving forward, you are usually moving backwards. If you don't continue to sharpen your problem-solving skills, you lose them. The second benefit to chess is it enhances your memory and recall. Chess players need to memorize different openings and strategies and tactics to be successful. You can get away with not memorizing when you are a beginner to intermediate, but once you become good at the game, you have to pick up few openings to remain competitive. You can find openings that suit your personality and playstyle, so memorization doesn't feel like a boring task. Not every strategy suits who you are and your playstyle, even in real life. Next, study the games of masters because it will help you spot ideas that you can resurrect and use in your games. There is no shame in learning from experts both in chess and real life. However, don't fight the last war. If you keep playing using the same strategies and moves, your opponents will catch up to you and predict your actions. This is an essential thing to remember. You shouldn't spend too much time with the same opponent, because you will teach them your art of war. This works for life as well. Chess improves your critical thinking, since you have to evaluate and weigh different options before making a move. In any game, you will have multiple routes to take and plans to follow, so this skill comes in handy. The options you have are usually referred to as candidate moves. Perhaps the most important way to get better is to analyze your games. Just like in real life, when you analyze your past conversations, mistakes and decisions. You can't really improve as a human being or a chess player without introspection. Don't analyze in the morning when you are making the moves, or mid-conversation when you are talking, but at night when you are done with everything, you can sit quietly with yourself and be honest with it. In line with critical thinking comes decision making. Chess players must make quick decisions based on the available information. You learn different methods to do so through pros and cons initially, then you learn more about the factors at play like space, the value of the pieces, which pieces are better at which part of the game. For example, knights are useful in the middle game because they are mobile and flexible, while bishops are useful in the end game because they have more range and room to move. Technically, both of them have a value of 3 points, but strategically, they are used for different things. Chess enhances focus and concentration. Players need to focus intently on the board and the game to outplay their opponents. The most common mistake that differentiates a beginner from a good player is that weak players leave their pieces unprotected. One moment without focus and their game is over. Most beginner players can't survive after losing a major piece, and even professional ones are so high level that losing a single pawn can end their game. In chess, such as life, one bad move nullifies 40 good ones. Bernard Horowitz. Like reputation, you spend your entire life establishing and protecting it, and it takes one mistake to destroy it. Don't lose sight for what's important and simply give in to momentary pleasure and gratification. Even a poor plan is better than no plan at all. Mikhail Shigurin. Chess improves strategic planning since you must plan several moves ahead to secure a win. Not all checkmates are obvious. Some require you to execute a sequence of moves to get the king checkmated. Every move should have a purpose, which is to advance the whole plan. In this manner, chess teaches you accountability because you can see the progression of the game and why you lost. You develop foresight because you are forced to put yourself in the same shoes as your opponent. At every turn, you ask yourself what move is best for your opponent and what move is he or she most likely to make. This game is all about pattern recognition. Chess players must recognize patterns on the board, such as the potential for a fork or a pin, in order to make the most out of opportunities. A fork is basically when a piece attacks two or more enemy pieces. In life, a fork would be a move that can achieve multiple goals simultaneously. While strategy is key, tactics are most of the game, 95% almost. As you play, you learn the most common patterns of the game. Attacking patterns, checkmating patterns. Chess improves your intuition, since you just recognize these patterns without thinking about them. A good intuition saves both time and energy. Chess boosts your mental health because you are exercising the brain. Not only that, but you learn how to be creative and come up with unique ideas based on calculated risks. If you are looking for creative chess players, go watch one of the games of Mikhail Tal. His nickname is the Magician of Riga. How cool is that? My favorite Tal quote is actually, "You must take your opponent into a deep dark forest where 2 + 2 = 5, and the path leading out is only wide enough for one." The best players have great spatial awareness and visualization skills. They must visualize the entire board and the potential movements of the pieces. In this manner, you cultivate your mind's eye. At high levels, players can even play blindfolded against multiple players. Visualization is useful because you can live different scenarios. Spatial awareness is also key in life. Awareness of the terrain, getting there first before the enemy, ownership of your own body in space. People can recognize weakness and timidity by the way others carry themselves. So be aware of how you control your space. Don't overextend, however. That's a sign of weakness as well. I know there are stereotypes about chess players being awkward and asocial creatures. In reality, chess improves your emotional intelligence, since emotion regulation is key to success in the game. If you get impatient, angry at yourself for losing a piece, or becoming too arrogant because you're ahead by 2 points or 3, you will eventually make a mistake. When there is little time, there is more pressure. Chess can be a mentally demanding game, so players learn to manage stress and develop coping strategies. Chess teaches you about yourself. You learn which style suits you, if you are aggressive or positional, strategic or tactical, logical or emotional, cautious or risky. Your personality reveals itself when you play. Moreover, if you join a chess club, you improve your social communications, and you get to meet all types of people. If you play online, you get to play with people from different cultural backgrounds and with different understandings of the world. Chess teaches you about time management. Chess players must manage their time effectively to make the most out of their allotted thinking time. There are different time controls for the game. We have classical, rapid, blitz, and bullet. Classical chess goes on for a couple of hours, while bullet goes on for a single minute. As a beginner, it's better to play 15-minute games, because that's how you improve. Don't try to imitate others and play fast time controls. It might seem cool how quickly the game progresses, but you will not get better, since you don't have that much time to think about your moves. Another element is that chess teaches you to not celebrate before the game is over. It is my style to take my opponent and myself on to unknown grounds. A game of chess is not an examination of knowledge, it is a battle of nerves. David Bronstein. Chess teaches you about risk management. You weigh the potential risks and rewards of different moves and see if a move is really worth it. If you are an experienced player and you notice that your opponent is following chess theory religiously, you might take the risk of using a gambit or a trap. Sacrifice a piece or two to get them out of their comfort zone. You can sacrifice material and space for time and initiative. When feeling trapped, you can free things up and exchange pieces. Similarly, in life, if you feel psychologically in a corner, change the environment. Or simply your day-to-day life by practicing some minimalism. In life, as in chess, one's own pawns block one's way. A man's very wealth, ease, leisure, children, books, which should help him to win, more often checkmate him. Charles Buxton. Chess teaches you how to negotiate as well. Sometimes you have to make deals like offering a draw instead of continuing the game or trading off pieces. Just remember, protect the most valuable pieces first. Trade your weakest pieces for your opponent's most valuable ones. In real life, it's key to recognize the most important and useful people like family, certain friends, acquaintances. Be loyal to them. An important person will not necessarily seem valuable. You have to discern their character to see their value. The way a sculptor views the final product in a rug. Know when to accept a draw. If your opponent offers you a draw, try to work out why he thinks he's worse off. Nigel Short. Examine every offer for a concealed trap or a diversion. The king is a fighting piece. Use it. Wilhelm Steinitz. Being a leader, you can't expect your followers to make sacrifices and do things you aren't willing to do yourself. In a job, show the willingness to do difficult things. Believe it or not, chess can also improve your leadership skills. It can be a good bonding activity, especially if you are mentoring a beginner. One of the main principles of chess is to seize the center. It's quite important to focus on where the main battle is happening. If as a leader you control that location, you will control the flow of the game. While playing, sometimes you are forced to take initiative and play something you have never played before. Remember, there are 16 pieces on your side of the chessboard. Each piece has its role. Each piece must know its place, its strengths, its weaknesses, and even the weakest pawn can be promoted to higher ranks. Chess teaches you to not underestimate the value of foot soldiers. Do not underestimate your efforts. Everyone plays a role. Leadership is about recognizing that all your pieces must play in harmony and be maximized to their fullest. In life, you need people of all kinds and personalities. You go through life as a pawn, as a major piece, and then you slowly become a king or queen, if you work smart enough and hard enough. Chess is a war over the board. The object is to crush the opponent's mind. Bobby Fischer. Lastly, playing chess can foster a competitive spirit, which can be beneficial in other areas of life such as sports, business. Without a mindset that pursues victory, your opponents will get the best of you, because they will get better than you eventually, no matter how smart you are. Remember what Grandmaster Savely Tartakover said, "Nobody ever won a chess game by resigning. Instead of giving up, prolong the game until the opponent makes a mistake." In a game of chess, white moves first, then black second. Instead of seeing it as a racial thing, I like to see it as white moves fast because it's actually an advantage to be a good person, since white signifies light and goodness and black signifies darkness and evil. Even though evil is not burdened by a conscience, it still stems from weakness. Good is active, evil is reactive. So if you want to be an example for good, take the initiative and don't wait for others to make the first move. These are few reasons why you should play the game of chess. If you like this video, leave a like and watch this video over here. I'll see you there.